You're listening to the 808s and Joysticks podcast, now available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, and iHeartRadio.
Welcome to 808s and Joysticks, the show that bridges the gap between games, music, seasoned with pop culture. I'm Tairell, and joining me today, as always, is Tom.
Yeah, so if you've been following us, we've just done a big load of E3 coverage individually for each conference that has been sent out. That's all available online or via our website. But we're going to talk about the stuff that we didn't really see at E3 this year, and stuff we didn't mention in our individual coverage because it wasn't worthwhile doing a full segment on it. We're also going to cover a lot of the stuff that's happened in sort of films and TV, and then music as well, because there's some big stuff we want to get into on music that we've missed out on the last few weeks. So, kicking off, the big thing coming out of E3, the big thing that was missing was Sony. Now, obviously we knew Sony weren't going to be at E3 this year, but the big question is why were they not there, and how important was it for them to not be there this year considering everyone else, especially considering Xbox's Project Scarlet announcement. What are your thoughts and opinions on this?
Well, I just thought that obviously Sony is trying to take more of the Nintendo approach now. Obviously, we have the state of the plays. The first one was very lackluster. Obviously, this second one gave us a lot more information, and then obviously we've had Death Stranding that has been had a full trailer release. And Kojima's confirmed the release date. I should really know this off the top of my head, but I'm sure it's sometime in November.
I believe it's sometime in November, yeah.
Death Stranding. 1 second. Just doing the 8th of November. It's coming out. So, yeah, we've seen small parts from Sony, and we haven't heard anything about Ghost of Tsushima yet, which I'm guessing is going to get its own state of play. Just the same with The Last of Us 2, which is rumored to be coming next year now rather than this year due to Death Stranding taking up that release window. Yeah, well, not just Sony. There was quite a few things that were just missing from this E3, and I think it all just leads down to the fact that we've got next-gen consoles coming soon. And I'm not sure how we could really probably announce any brand new games or anything like that at the moment. Just literally due to the fact that new consoles are coming away, new hardware, and we're going to need everything to be fresh. There's going to be fresh IPs being shown off. And it's just a little bit annoying if our IP is shown off too early in reference to the console even coming out, let alone a release year.
Mm-hmm. And that's sort of a pattern we've seen this year, mainly at E3, that a lot of people are announcing IPs that are coming out next year or within the space of a year. Whereas before we've seen IPs that have been announced and then not got a release for, say, 4 or 5 years. We had a few this year, so with things like Elden Ring and stuff, which have no release date or anything like that, but mainly all the games that have been there this year are coming out 2020.
Let's talk about that Elden Ring again. Doesn't that really still look just like a Dark Souls game? We said it looks like Dark Souls with Lord of the Rings. The more I look at it, the more it seems like a very generic game. I want to know what it's going to do to set itself apart from being a Lord of the Rings type game or a Dark Souls game. I want to see what is it going to do that's different, because right now it really does look like it is a Lord of the Rings type game, and it's even called Elden Ring. So I really wonder what market that they're trying to go with that. Do you think they're going to get the Game of Thrones market that way because George R.R. Martin's name's on it? I don't really understand.
I think that's the ploy, isn't it, to try and get more into a fantasy market in that way. I mean, Dark Souls is pretty fantasy anyway, but this is a different type of fantasy. You could say there might be more story behind it in a degree, having a writer in such as George R.R. Martin. Something like Dark Souls style with a good story to follow. Could be an interesting game, you know, following that story of the ring and seeing what happened to it and how that's affected the land or something like that. You know, it could be a good story to follow, but like I say, the story from the little bit that we've seen does seem to pull a lot from Lord of the Rings, from what it looks like. So we're just going to have to wait and see what's actually going to be shown in the, well, I wouldn't even say near future, because we discussed this before. Everyone is saying it, but we all know George R. R. Martin doesn't finish stuff. So near future, far future, this could be one of those announcements that we see and we don't see again for another 4 or 5 years, which is,
that's just really disheartening.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a problem. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't like it when cryptic things are said. Like, fair enough, we're Breath of the Wild. Nintendo always tend to do things like that. That's where, like, Nintendo fell down on as well, is the fact that, like, there's games that were announced by Nintendo that have not been shown at all this direct. And you're going to think to yourself, well, wait a minute, some of these said that they're coming out 2019 and, you know, it's E3 2019 and we're not even seeing like any extended gameplay or even any update on it. We just have to wait to the next direct. So that can be a bit annoying sometimes when you're expecting to see a game that you don't see anything of all year round, and this is the one show where you're really expecting it to be seen or have a little update, and it's missing. But yet like they announce titles for other games, like, but you're not talking about your games that you already have in production. So I can see where, like, I can see the problem with that. I actually don't like things like that at all. I would rather you give us more updates. I think that's what we were saying over most of the E3 conferences, that, like, yeah, people were just announcing, like, release dates for, like, either in development or next year. Like, they wasn't really giving us anything more concrete than that. So, like, I don't know. I just feel like E3 wasn't as exciting as last year. I can definitely say that. I think last year was exciting. I don't know whether that's just because it was the first time me and you was like together recording, like doing live streams for E3. So it kind of felt like we was a bit more involved rather than now we were watching the conferences in our own time and then giving our thoughts. But I just felt like it was just a lot more lackluster than before. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I feel that Sony's exclusion from the actual, like, conference overall this year really affected it. Also the fact that, like we've discussed before, next gen is on the horizon, so people are sort of slowing down their games. So they're only announcing games that are going to be coming to current gen at the moment, and next gen games aren't really getting that much attention yet because the consoles haven't been fully announced.
Yeah.
But like we've said, next year should be the year where we see a lot more announcements about consoles. We actually see the consoles first person, and then we actually see as well new IPs coming to those consoles and release games coming to those consoles as well, or new games from different series.
Well, also, like, another thing that I was like kind of like thought about E3 this year is just like the fact that we had like really cool games that asked like the community, you know, to help with the game, you know, such as like Trials and like Beyond Good and Evil, and we never got to see the work that was done. Do you know what I'm saying? I was expecting next E3 like, oh, we've had an overwhelming response, and here's just a quick preview of some of the work that's been chosen to be featured in our games. Like, we never got to see anything of that. Like, we didn't even get to see a single thing. We never got to see anything about Beyond Good and Evil this year, which was just really silly, seeing as that, like, that's Ubisoft's like biggest game. And as you said, like, yeah, we thought maybe it's just because they announced Watch Dogs, and maybe they didn't want to get it too crossed up within two massive open world games being shown off and people getting confused, which I can't really see them being confused by, but I do understand what you mean by that, because consumer can get confused sometimes. So that and the fact that I don't like game companies not mentioning their games that have failed or the shitty things that they've done, namely Bethesda and Anthem. Anthem wasn't spoke about once by EA, and I think that was really shit. I think that was so terrible. It just goes to show they don't really care about the consumers. They don't care about the players. They don't care about anything but money. Because if it was really true, you would at least try and do what Bethesda did and get on stage and say, sorry, Anthem was a shit game. It still is shit. We're trying to make it better. We don't know where the roadmap is at the moment, but just bear with us. But it's the fact that they completely left Anthem out of like their lineup. Like they spoke about Battlefield, they spoke about everything else to get that in-depth long ass Jedi Fallen Order like demo for whatever reason, but they never told us about Anthem though, which I think was really shitty of them.
Yeah, and to sort of back up your point there as well, that conference was like 3 hours 45 minutes long, so there was enough time in there to mention it.
Oh, like, for sure, Tom. Like, we didn't need to hear a full in-depth deep dive on like fucking Battlefield 5 and like the maps that are coming this year. Like, we didn't need that. Did not need that. We should have had some Anthem updates and gameplay. Like, that's what should have been said. But as you said, it was so long. It was like 4 hours long. Who's sitting down to watch that? It's boring. It's not enjoying. It's not engaging. It's just really, really taxing, like on you, especially EA as well. They don't really do that much of a variety of games anymore. Where you're thinking, oh yeah, EA's got some good games like Ubisoft or Bethesda, maybe even. It's the same games.
Yes. So the actual lead producer of Anthem did appear in like a short spot between FIFA and Madden. Obviously, like, we weren't watching at this point, but he did appear in between FIFA and Madden and just said basically that they have some work to do, and they're getting feedback and they're now testing some new systems. But like you just said, realistically, they should have gave it the game come out in February. Like, the game has just come out. It should be your main focus for this event. Exactly. But you didn't even acknowledge that it was like a game. You gave it like a 2-minute spot, which I don't think is right. As much as Bethesda played on that too much, maybe, they also gave Fallout 76 a big spotlight and announced a lot of things coming to the game for free.
They did, which we were saying anyway, like, kind of happy about that. They've tried to at least say, well, this is coming. I know it's coming like a whole year after the game has been released, but I guess they're trying, but what we were just saying, it's just the same shit, isn't it, really? Like, they're putting in features into the game that are features that should have been in the full Fallout game in the first place. Like, play Fallout 4, you might as well. You're going to have a better experience. So, it's no point, like, even paying Fallout 76 because it doesn't even have the same features, and you're still not going to get that until fall this year. Like, that's still months away. This massive update is still really far away, and I just think it's unacceptable. People are paying so much money for some of these games and the microtransactions they get, like, and these companies make so much money, and they've released half-baked games, and for what? And then you want to tell us that we have work to do. What do you mean you have work to do? You released the game and it was broke. Like, you've always had work to do. The work wasn't done. So, I don't know, like, I guess that was the only really shitty downside about E3. That and the fact that, like, everything is coming next year now. And
I don't mind that, though, because I'd rather it come next year than 5 years in the future. Or have no date at all.
True. That is true. But it's just like everyone's trying to rush out their last games of, like, this generation. That's what I feel like it is at the moment. So, yeah, some games that have been announced and I haven't got no release date or even a platform, that's definitely next gen. They don't even need to tell you. That's definitely just next generation. There's, like, no ifs or buts about it.
Yeah, and the other thing as well is, obviously, like, games are being rushed out. You said, like, Anthem was rushed out. But Nintendo actually did the opposite of that and delayed Animal Crossing because they didn't want to do like a rush job and just get the game out the door. Now,
basically, they didn't want to do crunch, which is like, which is amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard the rumours about the investors not liking that now, but a lot of people that are invested with Nintendo are not very happy about not doing like abusive rush jobs, is what people are calling it, because obviously they get their money later on. The more things get delayed, the more money they lose.
Yeah, well, they like the way the investors, like, they move about in like the financial quarters in it. So I guess if it misses like that last quarter of the window, then they have to wait until the next quarter, don't they? So
yeah, but it's all numbers. Like
yeah, of course.
This is the thing that we've mentioned a lot, mainly to do with like EA and stuff. But the fact that investors are running the industry too much at the moment, and yes, it's about numbers, it's about making money. But the thing is, if you start letting people that just focus on numbers make the decisions, then you start losing creativity, you start losing people's passion for games. People that are working there don't want to work there anymore. They're working overtime and not getting paid enough for it. They're losing their lives just so someone else can earn more money based on a number. And those people don't know who's working there. They're just looking at the money they've put in and seeing, do I get this much % back out in this amount of time?
I wonder if like it's being tackled because it was a much more serious issue at Nintendo, because we already know there's, and on average there's higher, I don't want to get into a more darker topic, but there's a higher suicide rate in Japan, and it's usually due to work. So maybe they're just scared that they don't want their workforce to start harming themselves and stuff like that, just due to the stress of making this game. Because you wouldn't even think Animal Crossing is a very difficult game to develop, but they have so many different world building elements in there. It's a pretty big game when you get down to it. It's pretty much unlimited. So you got to think about how you're going to make a game like that. And this is the Switch debut of this Animal Crossing, and it's got a new name, and you can also use a boat and stuff like that to get to different islands. Come on now, it's going to take a while to make, and I'm glad that Nintendo has took a step back. And investors being angry, it's rare for a Japanese company to actually turn on the word of their execs and investors. So this is maybe a turning point, because this is what Kojima tried to, this is what he tried to do at Konami. He tried to fight back against them and say, no, I don't want microtransactions in my games, and I don't want to do this. And then, we shouldn't be, I shouldn't have my team working on Dance Dance Revolution. They should be working on Metal Gear 5. He tried to fight against the investors, and he got ousted out of the company. He got stripped of his title of being an exec, and then he got fired. So I'm just hoping that at Nintendo something like this isn't going to happen, and next thing you know, we see, I'm trying to think, one of the who's one of the OGs at Nintendo, who's still a game creator but has pull. I'm trying to think.
Miyamoto. Yeah,
I'm guessing Miyamoto is probably the one that still has the most pull right now, and still designs games. So yeah, and then this, we see a person like Miyamoto getting ousted. Do you know what I'm saying? Getting fired from Nintendo, or being voted out just because he's took it upon himself to try and
I think it's very
protect people.
Yeah, it's very different, Konami and Nintendo. Obviously, that's not the point you're trying to make, but, I think Nintendo know what their market is. They're constantly expanding. They've just hired the new president, and they are focusing, on mainly, three key areas. They've said, so it's merchandise, gaming, and then, now other things, so, sponsored lands and, theme parks or movies and stuff like that. So they, they're looking into that, and they know that if they're going to do games with microtransactions and stuff, and that they do that as a mobile game that's free to play, and they do know that, and they do make good mobile games still. But when they release a full title, you know what you're getting from them. And I like the fact that they're now not afraid to delay stuff for the sake of their employees rather than consumers. Because I don't think it doesn't really matter what game you're making. Every game is complex to make, no matter how simple it looks on the outside. is very complex to make from the inside out. You have to think about all the different teams that are working together. So you've got programmers, artists, designers, you've got like team managers, leads, trying to keep to schedule, stuff like that. You know, people then in marketing, execs, you've got to then try and give a roadmap to. There's a lot of stuff that goes on there, let alone like the complexity of trying to get one piece of art in a game. Like, it takes a long time to create just one art asset, no matter how simple it is. You know, if you want it to be good quality, you have to put the time and effort in. The same goes for programming. If you're trying to solve a problem and there's a specific problem that you're trying to solve, you need to solve it, but you need to solve it in an efficient way. You can't just hack it together. So, you know, Nintendo pride themselves on making good games, it always have. So it's nice to see them taking a step back and saying, look, we don't want to push something out if it's not going to be good enough. We want it to be the best it can be. And if that upsets our investors, well, okay, it does. But, you know, we know what's best for our company. You know, we've been in the games industry longer than they have been invested in us, and we know.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, damn. It's good. I'm trying to think what, like, E3.
Well, we'll move on. Move on from all the stuff that we've already spoke about in E3 to stuff we haven't mentioned yet that much. So, stuff like Google Stadia. Now, Google Stadia we didn't really mention, but they did have their own event. It wasn't too long of an event, but it gave a few details, probably not enough to cover its own section though. So they're going to be offering a premium version of Stadia known as Google Stadia Pro that enables 4K video in the games that you play. It also includes like free access to a selection of games and exclusive discounts as well, whatever that specifically means. But that will cost $10 per month, which personally, yes, it's expensive, but it's not that bad if you don't own a console and you're getting a selection of games with it.
But here's the kicker though.
Mm-hmm.
To initially gain access to Stadia, you have to purchase the Founders Edition for $129.
Yeah, but you do also get in the Founders Edition, you get a Chromecast Ultra, which would probably cost you about $30 to $40. A controller, which is around $70, and then 3 months of Stadia Pro as well. So
I guess it's a little bit like shitty if like you've already got most of these things, because you don't need to use the Stadia controller. You don't need it, and it's just that you initially need to buy that. If you want to play Stadia, you need to buy that anyway. So it's like forcing you to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably use Stadia once they get rid of that. You have to buy that $129 like Founders Edition. Other than that, I've seen a lot of people saying that they're not going to bother with it because they don't want to pay that $129. So
I think there'll be a point where they cut back on that, but I think like the Founders Edition is like they'll have an influx of people playing with it to start with, and then after that, if you already have a Chromecast Ultra or you already have a Chromecast, maybe you'll then be able to just purchase Stadia monthly subscription and just start playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're possibly taking it in a smaller step, mainly due to the fact that, you know, the internet speed required varies a lot around the country. So, you know, they are saying that the internet does need to be fast, which is pretty obvious. But he said even with a 10 megabyte connection or 10 megabit per second connection, you'll be able to get at least 720 60 FPS. And higher speeds can enable 4K and HDR. However,
I don't know how that's going to work out, but I would really like to try it.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be perfectly fine.
I'm about to say, because if that Orion system that Bethesda, ID Softworks is worked out, they said that with low latency, they can like only games with that are able to like run at such speeds like that. So does Google have something that's similar to that then?
Well,
I'm not understanding like why are all these systems being made? Like, are we going to settle on one, or like?
It is confusing. I mean, personally, I still think that Orion is going to be it's going to be like a tech thing, and Stadia is mainly just a streaming service, and they have said that they'll allow people to offer their own games as subscriptions on the Stadia service. So we know that Ubisoft Uplay Plus is coming to Stadia, so it won't be long, I think, before we start seeing maybe like a Sony subscription on Stadia and an Xbox subscription on Stadia. And it does make more sense if you just have something like a PC or a Chromebook or something, or even just like a tablet, and you want to play all these games, but you don't want to fork out for a high-end PC or a console. Now, you could just get those subscriptions monthly, get all those games, not have to pay for the games or the console, and just play them. So it's more of like a introduction into casual gaming, you could say, for people that aren't hardcore gamers and don't want the best of the best. Then streaming is that nice entry point into that now. The same as like a Netflix service or something like when Apple announced their Apple TV service, when you can add like your Amazon Prime and have it all in one collection in one area. So it does seem that like streaming's more about, for the consumer, picking and choosing what you want to play and when you want to play it and where you want to play it. Whereas, you know, a lot of people that enjoy gaming, the typical people that enjoy gaming, will have a console or a PC, and they have an area set up just for that particular thing. So it all varies. I think if you want to play it anywhere on any device, streaming's a really good thing. But if you want like a high quality monitor with high quality graphics and high quality performance, then sticking to just the normal sort of installing games and playing directly from a hard drive is probably going to be for the best for now. See, there is an internet speed test on Stadia's website. I've got 44.6 megabits per second, so realistically there, I'd say I'd be able to stream in about 1440p, 60 FPS maybe. But
I'm testing mine right now.
But I'm not sure how reliable that will be. You know, will there be frame drops? Will there be lag or latency issues?
I'm about to say, you also got to like take into account when like internet and like times when internet's being used by like multiple people, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other thing is as well, if your internet, for example, if you're using it in peak times, where
mine is so whack. Mine's 12 megabits per second.
But you'd be able to do that.
But I'm able to play in high definition on Stadia though.
Well, 720, 60 FPS.
Yeah.
So
that's not bad.
It is possible, but I don't know. They do say that you'll need at least 25 megabits for 1080p, 60 FPS, 30 for 4K resolution at the same frame rate. Okay, so you can stream 4K. I could stream 4K 60 FPS. I don't know if that is believable or not.
Even like 4K on YouTube sometimes is a struggle. So
yeah.
I'm thinking you're going to play an entire game and that's going to be rendered and everything's going to be there. I doubt it.
I doubt it as well.
But I'm hopeful though. Like, we're just being salty because like this is like a brand new way of playing games. Like, we've never known anything other than like discs and downloads. Now there's like something where you don't have to do either. I just don't. It's too good to be true.
No, it is
way too good to be true. Yeah.
They announced a lot of games coming to Stadia as well. So there's Mortal Kombat 11 and Power Rangers Battle for the Grid are coming.
I don't know why they're putting that trash ass mobile Power Rangers game on there. Like what?
One for the Power Rangers fans. Well, I mean, no, Power Rangers fans don't want to play that game. But Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Breakpoint is coming to Stadia, which was announced as well. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Destiny 2 is going to be included in Stadia Pro and will allow for character transfer, so you'll be able to transfer your existing character from other platforms to Stadia.
Except for it's only been confirmed for PC and Xbox One. PS4 has not confirmed and given the go ahead for PS4 transfers yet. So Sony sometimes stays with the bullshit.
I feel like they will. Rockstar have also been confirmed as a Stadia dev, so they will support Google Stadia, which does mean that like GTA 5 or older things may be coming to Stadia. It does also mean that there might be a way to play Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC at some point.
That's true, because it doesn't really matter what type of game it is, because it's all being streamed. Surely that could mean like a multitude of different games could be like put on there. Yeah,
which is why you could have this service where you pick and choose which company or games platform you want to pay for. So you could only play for PlayStation games, or you want PlayStation and Nintendo games, but you don't want Xbox games. You have that option now. I think that's quite good, instead of having to buy all the separate consoles for exclusives. Although, no doubt in the future we will start to see things like Stadia exclusive or something. But we'll wait and see on that. The last few things that were announced to come to it was Borderlands 3 and the new Darksiders game called Darksiders Genesis. So, there are some games coming to the service. We already know Doom is going to be there, and the new Doom Eternal, has also been announced for it as well. A lot of games have been announced for it to support it, so we'll have to see on launch how it actually goes. But it does seem exciting.
It does. It obviously, as I said, like it's something that we're not used to, so we're just everyone is so skeptical of it, like, because it just seems way too good to be true. Like, you can play a game straight from the YouTube advert. Like, nah, that's not real. Like, that sounds like a fake Kickstarter. Like, it doesn't sound like a real thing, like, that you could really do. So until I see it in real life, I'm not believing it. So, and I haven't seen it in real life. I'm not seeing it work outside of, like, Google's fucking company. So like, why am I going to believe that it actually works? Yeah, they did that beta test, but what does that mean? That could be a small sample. Yeah, like, that could just be such a small sample size on their server. Like, what happens when the whole of YouTube trying to play this one game that they've seen on an advert? Then what?
Nah, it does make sense. It does make sense.
I don't know. Like, as I said, we're hopeful. Like, we'll see. But moving on from that, we've got still just like a couple more things until like we'll probably like go over into films and that. So Death Stranding, obviously we spoke about that just a little bit at the beginning. Just wanted to come in here really and just give some more concrete facts about the gameplay and what we're coming to expect from this game, and and the fact that everyone seems to think that it's definitely coming out on PC, but nobody knows when. So that's another thing. So started off with a Twitch stream with a bunch of hands, and every now and again the hands would get more and more on the screen, and you could see more and more of like a trailer behind in the hands. Then the trailer was released. It goes straight into it, and it's obviously batshit Kojima crazy, and you don't really know what's going on at all in the game. I still have no idea, except for the fact that they're in America, or they're in some type of version of America, and the world is definitely like post-apocalyptic, but like you are some type of like courier, but you just like a courier of everything. So you must just like whatever happened in this world now has led to you, like, everyone has some type of like job, and like your job is to just transport things. So it seems like there's a bit of time travel that's interweaved within the game as well. A lot of gadget use, which is like, harkens back to the Metal Gear like side. Like even like the menu system looks kind of Metal Gear-esque. There seems to be elements from Horizon Zero Dawn that's been also added into the game as well. I'm not quite sure about which ones, but I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, like that's so-and-so from Horizon Zero Dawn, like that's a particular feature that's used. Obviously, Kojima's working with Decima, Guerrilla Games, which made the Decima engine, so it wouldn't make sense to use some of the same features, but obviously put, the Kojima spin on the feature. There is like fighting and combat in it. There's also like a lot of horror elements in it too, and it seems to be a lot of traveling and kind of like a little bit like you have to be really wary and you have to kind of like look after yourself, because I think if you like your character like does anything, it's kind of like a little bit real. So like if you went into water, you would have to change your clothes and like I think dry your clothes and put new ones on, things like that. Like you have to change your shoes. It seems like it's a really in-depth game, and Kojima said that there is basically like kind of like almost a new system or genre that Kojima has made apparently. When he said here basically explain this further and further along as the game comes out, and more and more information will be revealed. But I really feel like he wants us to play the game to get like a whole scope of it, rather than just have all the information come to us via a trailer. Even though these trailers are like 9 minutes long and 7 minutes long, they don't really tend to show you what is actually going on. And Death Stranding as a whole, as I said, the world seems like the world that we know, but it isn't the world that we know, and there's a lot of like things to do with death and purgatory, and whether the fact that this could all just be a simulation. The character could already be dead. We're not really sure what the entire like scope of this project is, but we know that apparently it has some sort of like story that's going to continue. So this could be the first in a trilogy of games. I'm really excited. Really, really, really excited for Death Stranding.
So did we find out anything more about the multiplayer system or the system that you spoke about?
No, we didn't really find much out about how that all comes together as like global player like collaboration or whatever you want to, like, that's what they're calling it. Well, I don't really know how that relates to the game as a whole. All I know is that Death Stranding can be played fully offline and can be played online, so you don't have to worry about being online all the time. But I think it comes more in the form of players can almost leave clues and pathways to certain things in the world, and routes that are easier, and they can leave ladders for people to use, and the game is almost like a ever-changing dynamic game where you can't see the players but updates are happening around you, which, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, I think it's more time like the rope concept was people helping each other, like, I help you out, like I leave you this like climbing rope here so you can use it to get down the same mountain, so you don't have to use your own rope or set a new rope. And then obviously the stick comes in the part where you have to fight against enemies, and I feel like you may have to fight against other people online as well if they decide to go down that path. So yeah, I'm really excited. The lineup looks amazing. Every single character looks crazy. I really like the people in the masks. Those look really sick. I love the design of that. And yeah, Death Stranding coming out 8th of November. Kojima Productions. Sony exclusive. PlayStation 4 and PC. Probably going to come out on PlayStation 5 as well. So that's about it, really. I don't really have much else to say other than theories and my own. I could talk about it forever. Like my own obsession with the game. Like I don't really have anything else to say.
Yeah, well, I personally didn't watch the stream about it, but obviously, you know, you have. But there's certain games that we both enjoy. That, I mean, we both enjoy the same games, but we each of us has different passions for different games. So obviously some of us are more invested into one game. So you, for example, are more invested into like Death Stranding than I would be. And then there's also another game that we didn't speak about, which was covered at the PC Gaming Show, which is Planet Zoo, which is a game that I'm more invested in. But they're both games that we both like and will play. But yeah, so Planet Zoo was officially announced a few months ago, and we finally got to see a look at it at E3 this year. So we got an actual gameplay trailer now, and we actually got some gameplay as well. Now, this is from Frontier Developments, who made Planet Coaster, and Planet Coaster is a theme park building simulation game. So you have to build your own theme park. Now, Planet Zoo is the same concept of that, using the same Cobra engine, but has been improved, and it's all about building your own zoo. Now, they've focused mainly on conservation and enrichment of animals a lot of the time for this as well. So it's really important that they have done that, and they also focus on a lot of educational stuff to try and educate people about animals in the wild and how animals being kept in captivity can be a good thing, as well as a good thing if done correctly. Now, it's very different from some of the old games that you've seen, sort of like Zoo Tycoon. There's no longer do you have to put a fence around an exhibit, and that's an exhibit. You can create an exhibit by using terrain, so you can build like a wall around the exhibit using terrain, or you could put a ditch in, so you could have like a monkey island where you put water in the ditch, so the monkeys won't get off the island, and that's their sort of habitat then there. And the customization available in the game is pretty insane at the moment. They showed off the chimpanzees and the climbing frames for that, and it's all done piece by piece, which basically means that you can place down a wooden pole and a wooden platform in any particular way or rotation, anything, in any particular order, any particular combination, and then the chimpanzees will follow that and run on that how you set it up, play with it how you've set it up, so everything is unique. You can also have multi-exhibit animals. The animals look fantastic. The AI for the animals is very, very sort of in-depth, and a lot of research has been put into it. So they've actually gone and spoke to a lot of researchers or zoologists, and actually found out how those animals act in the wild and in a zoo. So you'll see that certain animals will go around in packs. And for example, if you have like elephants, if you have more than, say, 2 male elephants and a female elephant in the same exhibit, they'll start fighting, because elephants fight when there's a female there, male elephants do. So you have to split them up based on that. So it's sort of a big improvement on the engine of Planet Coaster. It looks really good. They've put a lot of hard work into it. The game looks amazing. All the animals look lifelike. Their sort of behaviours are lifelike too. And that also helps with the fact that watching or observing yourself and educating yourself by playing the game about animals and conservation of wildlife is like a big thing they're trying to push as well. So having that authenticity there for the animals really helps to support the educational side of it as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I do like that side of it. I do like the fact that they're pushing a message and the fact that they've actually tried to create a game that is very close to how, like, you know, it's supposed to be like, and talking in more terms of as in conservation rather than anything else. Yeah, I think the game looks good. As I said, it's more your type of game. I know you like the tycoon games and, you know, world building games much more than me. Not that I don't enjoy it, because I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's just that these days I don't really like invest a lot of time. Well, neither of us do. We just pick them up and play them when we can, really. And it's fun when you do, you know, make your own like park and roller coasters and whatnot. It is really fun. So I can imagine it would be just as fun, you know, making your own, like, you know, own habitats and things like that. Like, yeah, it'd be really nice. Really nice. Yeah, that's probably, is that it for gaming section?
Well,
got anything else?
For gaming section, it's gaming and TV. So
yeah, like, it's like
transition.
I don't know, like, I'm about to say, like, TV was really not that. There was nothing really TV wise this like has happened. I'm trying to think of anything that's happened other than like stuff to do with E3.
There is some small stuff, but this leads on nicely from the E3 stuff. One of the big things that was at E3 this year was Netflix's presence, which is weird. Because obviously Netflix known for, making TV programs, having a TV streaming service. But they have been slowly getting into games over the last few years. And obviously we had the Black Mirror interactive game as well.
Well, I just remembered as well, Netflix actually had a partnership with Telltale. So I think they had a lot more to show us eventually with Telltale. But obviously, look at what happened to Telltale Games. So maybe Netflix was always gearing up to do something like this, because I forgot about that partnership where they were, like, Telltale was supposed to be like adaptating Netflix original TV series and films into games, weren't they? So
yes, Stranger Things was meant to be the next Telltale game, I believe.
Well, there you go. That could have been a really important thing for them to have, which is, you know, strange, really, that you know, Telltale couldn't really even try and make that work last minute. But we all know what happened with Telltale, and we'll leave it at that, shall we? But yeah, as I said, carry on, because you was on a roll with the Netflix explanation about what they're doing at this E3.
So they were there. They announced a few things. Obviously, we know that they were there for the Division movie at the Ubisoft conference, which we're going to cover a little bit more in a few minutes. And they also announced a few Stranger Things stuff. So there's the Stranger Things 3 game, which is coming out. And that's a 16-bit pixel game, very akin to the games back in the era of Stranger Things, which is quite a nice sort of throwback in a way as well.
And it was, I don't know who's actually developing it, but real nice attention to detail that Stranger Things are doing, trying to tie everything around the 80s. Because, they were starting off with 8-bit pixel for the game, and then they upgraded it to 16-bit because that's more akin to the 80s, rather than 8-bit was more, I want to say more 70s, the 8-bit was. Yeah. The 8-bit era. So, yeah, like, and with the new Coke deal, and now they've got the old school Nike trainers that are coming out with Stranger Things, with the clothes and stuff like that, and it's all to do with 1985. Like, I really like how much they've done the marketing around all of this, and it really ties it all like in to making you really believe that you're in the 80s as well. So, like, I do really applaud Netflix for that. And you got to think to yourself, like, who else but Netflix can really pull off stuff like that. Like, that's why I'm really interested to see how Disney is going to approach their advertisements, and how will Disney maneuver when they're trying to get sponsorships and deals for their shows, and how would that work? So, it's going to be a very interesting
Disney
time.
Need to do that.
Yeah, it's true. I don't think Disney do need it, but Disney also got to think to themselves that, like, they can only go so far, like, with some of their things. So they have audiences that they can tap into if they are willing to go and partner with certain people and certain brands. Like, I don't think Stranger Things really needed to partner with Nike, but now all of the people who like to collect trainers are going to go and get these, and they're going to sell out because that's what's popular right now, buying trainers. So I see where the relevance is. Same with New Coke. Like, New Coke is there to be a marketing tool for Stranger Things, but also everyone's going to be like, wow, New Coke from the 80s. I remember that. It was supposed to be really terrible. Let me try it. Like, I just think it's really cool how they've done it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Another thing they announced as well, there was not announced as such, but mentioned a new Stranger Things game that's coming to mobile platforms in 2020. Now, it's going to use location-based...
Can we stop these games now? Because there's too many of them. There's too many of them now.
It's going to be a puzzle hybrid RPG.
Oh, of course.
So, what? Pokemon things? Stranger Pokemon? Basically Pokemon Go, isn't it? But with Stranger Things, I don't know if it's going to work. The reason why Pokemon
I don't know.
works,
it's not.
Yeah, the reason
we
why
have things to collect.
Sorry,
I was gonna say, we're on Pokemon. You have things to collect. That's why. Like, what are we gonna do in the Stranger Things game? Like, I felt like that's what you was gonna say as well.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Maybe you have to destroy Demogorgons in certain areas. That's the only thing I can think of.
There's not much, but it doesn't really pull for me to be a good game. The thing that might work is the new Harry Potter game that's coming that's like that. That might work better than everything else that's tried to do it after Pokemon Go.
Do you know what I think might work? The new Minecraft game, that might work if they do it right.
No, I don't think that'll work.
You don't think Minecraft World won't work?
I think it's going to be a flop.
Minecraft is really big though.
Yeah, but I think it's big to the fact that you can sit down and build stuff you can just sit there and build stuff for hours. You're not going to be walking around for hours trying to build stuff on your phone. Like,
yeah, but it's true. But like, same thing though. Like with Harry Potter, like, what are you doing with Harry? Like, what are you doing catching like the golden snitch? Like, what are you doing in the game?
There's loads of creatures from Fantastic Beasts that you could catch. There's different fights that you could get involved with, like duels, different areas you could go to.
Yeah, I see it when I believe it.
Yeah,
because
there's more
Pokemon Go looked hard. The previews for that game looked hard, and then when it came out, it was lackluster. So,
but now it's a good game.
Yeah, of course, Pokemon Go is way better now. But when it first came out, you only had a Rattata to get and a Pidgey, and that was it. There was nothing else. It was so hard to actually like catch what the struggles that we had to like catch Pokemon like the first week when it came out. You couldn't even sign in. Like, I just want to know that if you're gonna have a game like this again, I hope mistakes were learned. Like, they learn from their mistakes when making a game like that, because it's Niantic again, isn't it?
What, for Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully Niantic have it all sorted out. Well, they should have really with Ingress, but they didn't. So we'll see. We'll see. And surely some of the areas is going to be the same as Pokemon Go. So isn't there going to be like run-ins? I don't know. I don't know. I do not know.
But just to sort of close it out, Netflix have then said that they are partnering with more game developers to make more games, but they're not alone, so they are partnering with people. And later in 2019, they have a number of new projects coming out, and they're going to be announcing them. So there is more things to come from Netflix in the gaming market. And then there's also the Division movie, which they discussed as well. So, it's weird that they've gone into making movies based off game IPs for their own service. But
for real? The Division film only just got snapped up by Netflix literally 2 days ago. That was the announcement. It wasn't always going to Netflix. Apparently, it was supposed to be getting just a cinema release, but now it's going to be on Netflix, and I think it's going to be in the cinema too.
Mm-hmm.
It's got Jake Gyllenhaal as the lead, which
yeah, I don't mind Jake Gyllenhaal. I think he'd probably do a good job in that film.
Yeah, he's hit and miss because in Nightcrawler he was sick. That's probably one of his best performances. I've never seen a better Jake Gyllenhaal before. Was that him?
Yeah.
Before I'm wrong? Yeah. I've never seen a better Jake Gyllenhaal performance than Nightcrawler. He does things like that, but then he does other films. Well, I know it's a shit film, yeah, Prince of Persia. I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, but that was also the last Ubisoft film that he was in as well. So
they brought him back to... why have they brought him back to... Ubisoft...
Because Prince of Persia is now he's now in the Division.
Huh?
Prince of Persia is now in the Division.
In what way?
In the way that Jake Gyllenhaal is now in the Division.
Oh, fuck off, Tom. I can't believe you actually just said that. Here's me thinking that they've actually put Prince of Persia in there somewhere, as an Easter egg. Bring back Prince of Persia. This is the real games that we're asking for remakes and remasters from. Prince of Persia, Sand of Times.
Yeah,
Prince of Persia,
I would like that.
Warrior Within. That's when you could turn into the dark version of you. That was so hard, and you could such a hard game. There were 3 Prince of Persia games that came out on the PlayStation 2, and they were all fire. So let's get down to that, Ubisoft. Not Just Dance. Stop making Just Dances now. Just stop it. Doesn't need to be made anymore. Who's playing it? Tell me a person who plays that now, Tom.
DJ Khaled.
Fucking DJ Khaled. He probably does play Just Dance.
We'll get into that. But yeah, just to sort of round off the gaming section and it's games and TV section at the moment. Just quickly, some news just in is that Sony and PlayStation have just announced and dropped a new jewelry line by Los Angeles-based jeweler King Ice. The collaboration is meant to bridge the gap between hip-hop and gaming communities, much like this show. And they're going to be selling 14K gold implemented throughout. Select pieces are available now, and they do start at $80 each. So not too bad pricing, and some of the jewelry does look very nice, actually. It's quite subtle. I say subtle, it's not that subtle, but it does do what it says. It does link the hip-hop and gaming communities together very nicely. It's a way to sort of still wear that jewelry that you want to wear, but have some sort of importance to gaming towards you, something that, hasn't really been a thing for a long time. So it's nice to see that that's a thing now. I am interested in getting one of these myself, probably a chain, but we'll have to wait and see. But that is out now. It is dropped.
Wow, some of these chains and stuff are hard.
Yeah,
and it's weird how you've got just the normal ones, and then you've got the ones that are $3,000, with the real diamonds in there, and the 14K gold. Yeah, this is sick, but I like the fact that they've also got affordable ones as well. So yeah, this collection is really good. Yeah, if you're if you like us, and the two cultures cross over, and you want to get a PlayStation pendant, then yeah, I say to get it. It looks pretty cool to me. I wish I could pick up something now. It looks really nice.
And there's one final thing for TV. We did get a new Frozen 2 trailer this week as well.
Yo, do you know what we ain't chatting about as well? We ain't spoke about Lion King either, you know.
Lion King doesn't come out till July though.
Yeah, but we didn't speak about the trailer. We haven't spoken about it yet.
I don't know if there was anything new in the trailer that we needed to discuss.
Well, didn't you see the Beyonce one?
Yeah, but...
Well, that's what I'm saying. We haven't heard Gambino yet, have we?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, well, we've heard Beyonce now. I'm just letting people know, innit? Like, the Beyonce, type trailer is out. The Lion King film, it just looks weird. I can't really figure it out. I like it. I like it as well, but, it's not unsettling. It's just the fact that it's realistic Lion King, innit? It kind of takes a bit to get used to. Because the story is basically exactly the same. So... shot for shot. So I'm just kind of it's going to take my head, to get a bit used to the fact that this is a real life Lion King film and not, not the animated one.
Well, it's still animated.
Yeah, it's not animated, but I mean,
CGI
in a photorealism in it. So, which I get. Some fans were pissed off because Mufasa's mane wasn't red. So, I don't know. I think, fans can now just get outraged and, complain about stuff enough. And, they're expecting, the company to, reanimate everything. So... Yeah, but the Lions... That's because it worked in Sonic's case. It worked in Sonic's case, yeah, but you can't say that about every game now. Because it's not going to work.
Oh. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to...
It's not going to...
It doesn't deserve... to be spoke about that his mane is not red because he's a real lion doesn't deserve to be spoke about. It's just common sense.
Well, some people were like, "Oh, well, why does Rafiki still look like that?" Because there's a real monkey that looks like that. What are you talking about? Did you think Rafiki was not real? I know. It's just some people really just wow.
There is one game that we didn't speak about throughout the whole coverage that was announced, but it was on the PC Gaming Show that I forgot to mention. And that's Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey.
Yo, I remember that game at the Video Game Awards. I thought, what happened to it?
Yeah, we got some gameplay. We got a lot of gameplay for it, 10 minutes worth of gameplay. And the creators spoke about the progression of the game, so you can evolve in the game. You start off basically as prey, and then the further you get on, the further you progress and evolve, you turn into a predator. And it's all about surviving at the start, and then learning how to use things, how to evolve, and then how to actually start preying on people and surviving at that point as well. So it looks a really interesting game.
Well, he is the GOAT behind Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which is one of the best Assassin's Creeds in my opinion. So it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of gameplay features to it. There's the ability to climb up trees, pull fruit off bushes and stuff to survive. The game, it looks very good. It might not be.
It's got Epic exclusive as well.
Mm-hmm. It might not be the I don't know, the best looking game you've ever seen, which is understandable. But it does look very nice still.
I thought it looked pretty impressive. Looked better than fucking some of the games I've seen at E3. It looks pretty good in my opinion. I like the style of it at least.
Yeah, I think it's the different style of it. The fact that you play as you are an ancestor of a human, but basically at this point you are when the game starts, basically what you would call I don't know, something akin to a chimpanzee. That's basically what you are at this point in the game. There's a lot of things to explore by the looks of it. A lot of things that you have to kill or try and survive from. And just seeing the progression of evolution going from one state to another looks interesting to me. It's one of the games that, he did say, the creator himself, he did say that he didn't think it would take that long to make the world, but considering you have to then think about how long ago this was and then create the world based on that as well, like, it took a lot longer than he thought.
Yeah, well, he said that, like, it's not like Spore, so don't expect you to, like, have some mad evolution. Like, he said, like, basically, the goal of the game is to beat science, to beat the pace and beat the speed at which evolution happened. So if you ever discover crafting way before science tells us it's actually happened, we give you 125,000 years plus a bonus because you did it before science. And eventually the goal of the game is to beat science. You'll transform your characters. At first you won't walk on two legs, but eventually, depending on how you play, you'll evolve into a biped creature. This game is very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, and it probably will get pulled off, and it'll probably go underneath the radar because it's not everyone's type of game to play. But I'm really interested in playing something like this.
Yeah, I think it's a different experience, and that's what gaming's all about. That's what it's always been about, getting a different experience.
I'm sad. I wish this was showing off a little bit more on, like, the bigger stages, because I felt like people really would have appreciated a game like this.
Well, the thing is, it's whether people want to or not. I don't know. It is presented by. It was presented on the PC Gaming Show, so it did get a big section on that, and a lot of places have covered it as well. Things like IGN and whatnot. So it does get some credit, and obviously it was at the Video Game Awards as well. But
I just felt like some games have been spoke about so much already. It didn't need a spot at E3, and a game like that easily could have used the spot. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got games that are coming out like in a few days or next week, and they had spots, whole trailers at E3 for no reason. And I was thinking, like, a game like that could have really use that, because it's an indie dev as well, like, but I don't really know how E3 works and how you actually get a spot on the stage. Like, I guess the PC Gaming Show was the right fit for them because they have the Epic exclusive, and obviously Epic was behind that show, so
yeah, that's probably where it links in.
Makes a lot more sense, to be honest. Does make a lot more sense. But yeah, I'm thinking we could probably follow on to the music section, which is not going to be too much. We're just going to go through the new releases real quick.
No, it is going to be much. After we discuss the new releases.
Well, afterwards, it depends. It depends on how long we actually want to talk about it, because I don't even want to give them too much energy. But new releases. So, a lot of these songs and things like that have been already put on the playlist previously, or are going to be put on the plays this week from some of these albums. So we're starting off. We have. I'm not listening to this. Have you listened to this? She Is Coming by Miley Cyrus.
I've listened to a little bit.
What's it saying?
It's okay. Like, it's not too bad, but it's not anything special. There's some.
Is it Mike Will again? Mike Will.
Yeah, Mike Will's on a few songs.
Oh, okay. Might check it out then if it's got Mike Will on there. But like, I just like I don't know what kind of style she's trying to go for these days. Like, I get a bit confused. So sometimes she's like doing the rap, and then sometimes she's doing country again. So I am very confused. So
it's it's definitely more towards the poppy sort of.
That pop side,
pop, hip hop, rap side, yeah. Like, you know what I'm on about, like that pop with like hip hop influence in it.
Yeah,
it's that.
Yeah, I probably will give it a miss. Actually, it is what it is. You know, I've got too much. There's too much music to be out. Like, there's too much music out. Disbora by Gold Link. I've listened to this.
Mm-hmm.
wasn't as impressive as Gold Lick's last album, but it's still good though. But didn't impress me as much as the last album though. What are you thinking about it?
I've only listened to it a few times, but I do like it quite a lot.
It's much more...
It's different.
Singy and like bouncy, if you know what I mean. Like not really rapping. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like it's much more like he's trying to go for that kind of like those club songs, like the pop songs. Like, and not really in a way where he's trying to like mainstream it to death. Like he's doing it in like Gold Link's way, if you know what I mean. So, and I can hear like the African like influence as well in here, like a lot, like with Afro beats and things like that. And I don't really like Afro beats that much, so maybe that's why I'm not digging it as much.
Yeah, there's a lot of that influence in there. I could tell. I think there's a song on there called Zulu Screams. That was quite sort of Afro beats.
Afro beat, yeah. And he also, I feel like he collabed with some a couple of like English people in there as well. I could be wrong though. Western. He collabed with Western, which is an English singing group. And then obviously Wizkid is like one of the biggest Afrobeat stars in the world at the moment. So I guess he knew what kind of sound he was trying to go for. Mm-hmm. Then we have Letter to My Godfather by Pharrell Williams. I actually haven't heard this, like, at all.
It's a very good song. It's from the Black Godfather series on the film on Netflix.
Okay.
So it's like original music from that Netflix film.
Oh, sick. Okay, and it was what, Pharrell on... Was he doing the soundtrack or just he had a song on there?
I think Pharrell just had a song on there. I'm not totally sure about that.
Okay.
But he does do this song and it's a very nice song. Like the way that it's put together, the effects he uses throughout it. It doesn't sound like Pharrell, but you can tell it's Pharrell. It's a different Pharrell song, but it's a good Pharrell song.
Okay, wow. Well, I'm looking forward to listening to that because I do want to hear some new Pharrell. We've got the Save Me EP by Future. The King is back. His next EP is also coming out apparently like within a week or so, which is Regret. Apparently, that's what it's apparently called. I thought the EP was hard. Not everyone was feeling it because it was a different type of style for Future, but I really felt like he was doing the same thing. Just it sounded a lot more sad to me. So I don't really know how. Have you listened to it?
Yeah. So basically, like, Shotgun is probably my favorite track off that.
Shotgun is very hard. Yeah, but I like Government Official as well.
Mm-hmm, but I understand that it's, like you said, a bit sort of not darker, but it's got a bit more sadness to it than normally. Yeah.
I could really I like where Future's going with this, and if you go on his Instagram, he's doing like a lot of like more of like an artistic rollout at the moment, and I feel like Future's always tried to go and like have like these elaborate like cool rollouts, and it kind of matches his music a little bit, like how he has like this kind of mysterious rollout, and he's got like 3 albums. Also, let's just talk about how the fact that everyone's releasing like 7-track like albums or EPs now, and I felt like Kanye kind of really set the precedent with that one.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of forgot about that, but yeah.
Yeah, because I totally forgot that Kanye did 7 songs first, and now we've got Future coming out with 7-song EPs. Kevin did the 3-song EP, making it into a whole album eventually. Miley just did an EP as well that only had a few songs on there. Yeah, that apparently is going to on that. Apparently that's going to join up to become a bigger project as well. Then we've also got we've got 2 more EPs on the way from Future. So I think it's pretty crazy how everyone's starting to do 7 tracks. Oh, Lil Nas X as well. His EP is going to be 7 songs for whatever reason. I don't even know who's going to be listening to 7 songs from him, but I guess. We also have Scriptures by T Grizzly. I've never really listened to T Grizzly, but I know people like him though. So
yeah, I haven't listened to this. I've just put it on there because it was a notable release.
Yeah. Oh, you know I got to stop it for this one. I wish we had some air horns. Legendary by Tiger. Hard. No, I'm not even gonna front on it. The album was actually really good. Like, I enjoyed the album. I thought it was very good. It was very good for Tiger, at least.
I didn't enjoy it still.
Well, you didn't like it?
I enjoyed one song.
I just like the fact that it all sounded like Taste. It all basically sounded like Taste. Like, the entire same drum pattern and bass was all Taste. Like, I fuck with Taste. So I thought, hey, album's alright to me. So it's not too serious. Like, it's just a fun album to put on if you're, you might be doing something, just cleaning the house or something. I don't know. It's not an album that you sit down and be like, whoa, Tiger's really got bars. He just hit me with the deepest bars. Like, it's just a lot of club anthems and strip club anthems, really. That's what it is.
Yeah, which I'm not a big fan of. I liked Vibrate with Sway Lee. That's about...
Yeah, that like, as I said, it's just Taste.
It's basically Taste, but with Sway Lee.
Yeah, exactly. So, we've got Mollywood by Waka Flocka Flame. I didn't even know Waka came out with a new project, but yeah, go peep that. The London by Young Thug, J. Cole, Travis Scott, which is doing really well at the moment on the charts. And it's Young Thug's song, actually. So I'm hoping that this might, get Young Thug his first solo number one. So that would be really, well, not really solo, but it'll be his first number one of his own song. We've got Cross Me with Ed, Chance, and P&B Rock. Haven't really listened. Don't really like P&B Rock. So I felt like this lineup's a little bit kind of weird. So what do you feel? Also, the Ed Sheeran songs haven't been doing as well as they expected them to do. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what this means for his collaboration album and whether this was a bad decision or not.
I know it's a weird song because it's trying to be something it's not. Like, it's Ed Sheeran, but it's got Chance on it and PNB Rock, and it's got like a bit of a hip hoppy backdrop to it.
What kind of? And it depends what kind of like bag Chance is in. Like, what kind of like rap is he doing on there? Like, how is he trying to like? What kind of verses is he doing? Sometimes he does those really weird, stupid verses that I don't like sometimes.
Chance is just on the breakdown in the middle, basically.
Oh, okay.
He's doing the breakdown bit, as Chance does normally. You have the gap in the song, and then he does his little bit in the middle. So
it sounds like the song's just been like engineered by the label. It doesn't really sound like a natural song. Anyway, carrying on anyway, because we got Stacko by Mo Stack, British artist. That's his debut album. Go get that. Dreamville singles, 108/Dream single. This is off Revenge of the Dreamers 3, from those sessions where everyone and their mom was down there recording songs. So this is 2 songs that have come out of this session so far. One's called Got Me, and the other one's called Down Bad. Down Bad has one guy from Earth Gang on there, Bars, JID, Cole, and it's got Young Nudie on there as well, who's having a great year at the moment. And I think Young Nudie's... Not Young Nudie. What if Young Nudie's got a project coming out today as well? He might have something coming out today. I'm just about to check, because I know someone's got something dropping today.
Well, I've listened to both the singles, and they're both very good.
Yeah, the other single's really nice as well, with Ari Lennox on there, and who else is on there? Ari Lennox. I think Cole's on there again.
Yeah, Cole is on there.
They're probably going to end up putting Cole on every song. Omen, Ty Dolla $ign, Ari Lennox,
and Dreezy.
And Dreezy. Oh, wait, is that mean is there no J. Cole on that song?
I don't think there's J. Cole on that one.
No, not on that one. Okay, so the other one doesn't have J. Cole on there. All right, cool. We've got Big Crit here. Really, really cool song. I like the sample. Watch the video as well. That's really cool. West Side Gun, Fourth Rope. If you love sick old school hip hop beats with sick samples and wrestling references throughout the entire album, go and listen to that album because it's sick. El Capo by Jim Jones from Dipset is a really, really solid hip hop album between him and Heatmakers, and it's just really, really good. As again, if you like raps, go listen to that. You'll have a blast. Ignorance is Bliss by Big SK Skepta. He dropped his new album and it's very impressive. It has a ton of different production and features on there, featuring like Key, Jay Huss, just a bunch of people are all over that project, and I for one really think it's refreshing from Skepta, and it goes to show like what he can still carve his own little lane out in UK rap and grime. And yeah, that's about it for the new releases. As I said, you can catch most of these projects on our playlist in some form, whether that be this week or the week after or
the previous
100 weeks down. The playlist will be updated though, so just keep an eye out for that. Right. So we have a bit of time left and we're going to just focus on one topic only, and we're going to focus on this piece of shit, DJ Khaled.
That's a bit aggressive.
Maybe I shouldn't have went in there. maybe I shouldn't have started it like that. I shouldn't have went in so harsh. But yo, we the second best music. DJ Manchild, Khaled. This is what Tom's written, by the way. I'm just writing, it's ghost written bars. I don't even know where to really start with this, man. I'm just really disappointed. Obviously we basically promoted IGOR like it was our own album. We talked about DJ. We also spoke about the positivity of DJ Khaled's album and the good things he did with that album and the Nipsey Hussle single. We even spoke about Cardi B and we spoke about so many things about that, and the fact that he's so pressed by this all, I just can't believe it. All that positivity bullshit is bullshit. Like, it's literal bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. You don't preach positivity and then bash a young black man at that who's successful in doing what he's doing, and you then want to start talking about how he's just mysterious and weird shit. Why are you not celebrating the fact that he's number one on billboards overall? Not just hip hop, overall. He's number one. And yet you want to be out here talking about how you're pissed off because your energy drinks didn't count. Like, what the hell? Like, give me some context, Tom. Explain to me what's going on. Okay, well, first of all, I'm sorry, but the album was trash. The album was so bad. Like, oh my god, it was just mediocre. It was mid. The only song good on there was the Nipsey Hussle song, and I like the intro because it had Buju Banton on there, and he's been locked up for years, and that was like one of his first songs he's done since release. Cool. That's understandable. And the rest of it was boring. No brainer with Biebs and Champs. Well, that's been out for like 2 years. Yeah, exactly. How long has that song been out? Been like 2 years. It has been out for 2 years. Jesus Christ! Like, and I'm sorry, No Brainer and I'm the One is basically like I'm the One Part 2. It's exactly the same. It's got the same features on there. It's just not got no Lil Wayne on there. That's it. Yeah, but the trouble is, like, that doesn't make the album. Like, the album was okay. It wasn't trash. It was okay, but it's not a number one album. Like, I don't mind DJ Khaled's music. We both don't. Yeah, we both listen to it. Yo, never had a problem with DJ Khaled. I don't care. I know he's cringy and his antics are stupid. Yeah, the memes are funny though. Every now and again, he will have one solid or a few solid songs off the album, and we're like, yo, that's kind of hard. But even looking at this album, and you gotta really think about it, it was really bad in comparison to his other two albums. Like, you had No Brainer on there, and you had Top Off, which is the Beyonce Jay-Z song. You mean the song that sounded like they literally forced Jay-Z and Beyonce to do that song? Because it sounded like they didn't want to do that song. Had Party Next Door write a trash verse for them. Like, it's just, oh. Gosh, you knew it was going to be trash when there was no Rihanna on there. No Party. Who else wasn't even on the album that you thought? There was no Drake on this one.
The trouble is,
there was no Nicki. There was those are usual people on the DJ Khaled album, and they weren't on there, which just goes to show, like, obviously people are starting to lose faith in him. Yeah, Bieber's was on there, but that was a feature from years ago.
Yeah, here's the thing as well, though. He hyped the album up so much that it sort of left, I don't know, not a bad taste in people's mouths, but, like, he hyped it up that much, and then it came out, and people would have been like, I mean, I personally was like, is that it? Like, is that really it? I've heard, like, most of these songs as singles years ago, and there's not much new stuff that really excites me on it. And then Tyler's come out on the same day, and
fresh music.
Like, yeah, I'm still listening to that album every day now.
So, I'm figuring out ways how, like, I'm waiting to get bored of the album. There's not a song I'm bored of on the album yet. On IGOR, I'm talking about, not DJ Khaled's album. That album was boring. Straight. I don't even think I've really listened to it properly. I heard one too many Chris Brown and Meek Mill songs, and I just thought to myself that they all sound generic and the same. Like, we know that Meek Mill can do better than this, and even though I don't like him, we know Chris Brown can do a lot better than that as well. So I don't really see why we have to keep getting the same mid song. And that SZA song was fucking terrible. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody should have been singing over Miss Jackson. I was at a loss for words when I first heard that song, Tom.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, forgetting the album. We'll put the albums on equal levels. Yeah. For now. Forgetting the quality of the albums. Like you said, you can't go around in an industry where you shout at people and throw a tantrum when you don't get what you want. Like, just because your label has more money and you've put so much effort into producing movies and getting energy drink bundles and promoting it all the time and naming it after your kid, and that doesn't mean shit, okay? You have to still make a good product.
That's the joke, though. Like, Tyler and Khaled are both on the same label. He should just be happy at the fact that, like, that's why Sony don't give a fuck. That's why nobody at Sony has cared about this. Everyone at Sony right now is focused on the PlayStation 5. They're even in the industry of that. They're still focused on it. They're not even focused on DJ Khaled right now because of the fact that they have Tyler, the Creator, who is one of their more independent, lesser known artists who would do his 100k a week and be good with it and gets out. That's it. You've got him and you've got DJ Khaled, who's second. That is a big bonus and a massive win for Sony right there. They've got two of, like, their more premium artists doing well on the billboards. That's all they can ask for. You gotta bear in mind that IGOR and DJ Khaled's album wasn't the only release that day as well. There was many more all over. You know, we had who else? We had Slow Tie's album. We had Meg Thee Stallion's album. I'm pretty sure there was some other, like, maybe even more pop releases that were released on the same day as well. And for two rap albums to beat out some of those larger albums and albums that are still doing well, like Billie Eilish's album and things like that, and Lil Nas X, for them to beat out certain things like that is impressive as a whole. And I feel like DJ Khaled, it's just the way how he took it. He could have been much more supportive and said it in a way like, yo, well done on Tyler, the Creator, for doing some great shit. Like, yo, we both, you know, I know I'm second and you're number one, but we're both on the same label. We're both getting money together. I'm proud that, DJ Khaled always talks about positivity. He should be applauding the fact that someone like that can create an album, write, produce, wrote, record, did everything by himself. Well, not so record, mix and master, but like did everything else himself. Does all of his videos and his festival and his trainers and his merch. DJ Khaled ain't got no merch and trainers. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
you got Ciroc.
Oh, Ciroc that Diddy owns.
Dom
like,
Perignon.
do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dom Perignon.
I don't even know if he's got a deal with Dom Perignon. And if he is, he's a fucking bum. Like,
shit, didn't he?
Like, if you've got a deal with Dom Perignon, you're a bum because Jay-Z owns Ace of Spades, so you should be supporting that. And, like, it's the fact that he keeps shading Tyler, the Creator. Like, he keeps saying, I'm in the music business, not the bundles business. So why are you crying over the fact that your energy drink that's bundled with your album isn't being accepted?
No.
So what business are you in?
Whoa, hang on. The energy drink's not bundled with the album. The album's bundled with the energy drink.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, the energy. Yeah.
Album for free.
Yeah, you get the album. Also, talking about the fact that that website, that shop.com, and their parent company were imploring customers to buy more than one packs of energy drinks so their album sales are higher. Is that not falsifying album sales?
Well, yeah, it is. That's the whole reason why it wasn't included in the first place.
Exactly. So don't come to me and be like, well, not personally me, but like, don't come for like Tyler. And it just goes to show that like, when the smaller guy and the more creative guy and, you know, the independent person tries to do their own thing, and the big corporate giant that's got all the machines behind him, you've got every single influential person behind you. You've got Jay-Z behind you. You've got Diddy behind you. You've got Rick Ross behind you. You've got all these moguls behind you, as you keep calling them. Yet, you've got another mogul, Tyler, who's doing well by himself, and he's very wealthy right now. And you want to bash him and start calling him weird and mysterious shit. I just thought it was just so childish, and I hope nobody ever works with him again. I hope his last album goes tinfoil, and that's it really. I hope I don't have to see DJ Khaled again. I don't want to see him again. I'm sick of him. I've been sick of him anyway for the last year, so...
Yeah, I just want to talk about the Instagram post that came about. So... he released an Instagram video where he was slating Tyler, the album, saying that he deserved it more than that, whatever, just being mysterious, stuff like that. Then deleted that. Then started posting other stuff. He did post that he got the #1 hip-hop album in the country this week, 3 days ago. Fair play, you got the #1 album in the country this week.
No.
In hip-hop.
In hip-hop, exactly. In hip-hop, which is what everyone keeps leaving out of the fucking title. He's not got the #1 album. The #1 album right now, I think, is Billie Eilish or someone random at the moment. It's not even DJ Khaled. So what is he talking about then?
Because he got a #1, that's all he wanted.
Oh, but fuck off. Like,
the guy is purposely not allowing people to comment on his stuff. Now, when you reach a stage where you don't let people comment on your stuff, that's when you know that you may have made a mistake, because you're getting abuse there, and you can't dish out abuse to someone else. As sly as it might be, you can't dish out abuse, delete it, and then not expect to get the same abuse back. Like, for someone like you said, who's as supportive as he's meant to be, supportive to the community, the industry, as he always says, he's not really done anything to be supportive. You know, his bio, father, mogul, icon. Well, technically, you're just a father now. Like, I don't think anyone really refers to you as an icon or a mogul after what you've just pulled.
Nah, no, not after what you just pulled. Icon and mogul where? I just feel like it's really disgusting at the fact that, like, he's, like, so many people is supported. Like, when Tyler was with Meek, you remember the freestyle that came out and he said, me and Meek first week. It was too, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, he said that about Meek Mill, and Meek Mill also gave props back to Tyler, the Creator, for also getting second place, because it was a hard day. That was when Meek's album came out. I don't know which one now. I think that might be Dreams. I don't know which album that was. Was it the 453 freestyle? But either way, regarding that, you're right, Tom. Why are we gonna call him a mogul? Like, what are we gonna say about that?
There's nothing to say about that. Personally, I don't think he's done. He's not done, but he lost a lot of respect from a lot of people that day because, you know, he's been preaching positivity and always looking up and, you know, we the best, blah, blah, blah. You know, the key to life, major key, fucking another one, whatever fucking shitty catchphrases you want to say. You can't preach all that shit and then try and just drag someone down because you didn't get what you wanted. And I know that it sounds like we're being harsh towards it because we're fans of Tyler the Creator, but it doesn't matter who would have been at the top. It doesn't matter if it was some country artist that was at the top. You know, if they deserve to be there over you, they deserve to be there. It doesn't matter. You can't just throw a tantrum about it.
Exactly. Like, it can't even be the fact that, like, because I'm not a fan of Lil Nas X, but I think I think he should have, like, tried to fight to be on the country western, like, to be on the Billboard. I felt like it was wrong at the fact that everyone was attributing his success to Billy Ray Cyrus and giving him plaques and stuff like that when it's Lil Nas X's song. It's just the same way as in, like, Tyler, he needs his accolades. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's worked too hard and for too long in order not to get his accolades. So, I don't know, we should just leave it. We're just giving him too much energy, man.
No, I want to talk about the energy drink stuff, and then I want to talk about what he's planning to do after as well. So, the energy drink stuff, he was selling energy drinks with an album, like we've mentioned, and Billboard has stated that they thought that was not part of, like, the bundle deal, hence why it wasn't included with the album sales. Now, he thinks that he would have got over 100k more had those been included, which, yeah, they probably would have, because you can buy an energy drink for very cheap.
Yeah, but you're not allowed. But the way how it was done, like, that's like buying 6 packs of energy drinks, and that is 6 albums. How in the hell is that fair? Like, you buy multi-packs, and one energy drink in that multi-pack is an album. Like, how is that fair?
Yeah, it's not.
It's just not, like, I understand when other people, like, this really isn't fair. I get it when other people's, like merch sales and things were discounted, but, like, this really shouldn't be counted, because if that was the case, then people are going to start selling that album with everything. So,
yeah, but the thing is, Tyler still have bundle deals, so you could buy, like, stickers with the album, or t-shirt with the album, or poster with the album. You know, everyone does those bundle deals, and as long as you buy the stuff and get the album with it, or you buy the album as part of that bundle, it's not included for free. I don't see a problem with that. When I see a problem is when the album's thrown in as a random added extra, you know, to anything, because at that point you're not buying it for the album. You're just buying the stuff, and then you get a free thing with it.
I'm about to say, like, what's stopping DJ Khaled from buying a shitload of his own energy drink?
Well,
what's stopping him from doing that to inflate sales?
I'm sure there'd be some precaution in place, but still,
yeah, of course. But how? You can get somebody out. You can get one of his friends to go. You can get Rick Ross to go and buy like 1,000 energy drinks. There we go, 1,000 album sales already. You know what I'm saying? Like, that does not add up. Like, you can't do things like that. Like, I'm surprised he thought that was even going to fly, really, with Billboard.
Well, I think Billboard explained to him. I think so. Basically, I think Billboard said it was okay, and then he did it, and then they said, well, that's not what we agreed to, so no. And then he started kicking up his big fuss about it. And moving forward, he has come out and said that he is going to sue Billboard now for not including the bundle sales in his thing.
Oh, well, fuck you, DJ Khaled. Like, so, I say sue Billboard. It's Billboard at the end of the day. You really think you're going to take down Billboard? You're DJ Khaled. You don't even have that much money. Like, I know you carry on like you have super amounts of money, but you don't have that much.
Put it this way. Even if you sue Billboard, you're not going to get you number one.
No. So what's the point? This is the problem. Like, I don't know why people are really even like supporting him in any type of way. Like,
there's nothing to support.
Exactly. There is nothing to support at all.
Yeah, I've always been a big advocate for DJ Khaled, spreading positivity and love and just being an all-round funny guy doing his stupid dances and stupid videos. But this time I think like he's really turned a lot of people the wrong way, and you know, I didn't listen to the album anyway because it wasn't that good, but I don't want to listen to the album now because of that.
Well, I've deleted the album, and this just makes me want to. This just makes me really. I don't think I'm going to include DJ Khaled. Well, personally, I'm not going to have it on my side of the playlist. Don't really want to give him any more money. I don't want to give him anything because it's just not fair. The fact that like a person like this with so much power, and so much money, is trying to bash Tyler the Creator, who minds his own business. He don't say nothing to no one. Do you think he really came out with this album expecting to beat DJ Khaled?
No, he didn't even respond. Like
because why is he going to? Why? I hope he doesn't. The only way to respond is that everyone who likes Tyler the Creator and that's friends with him just stops collaborating with DJ Khaled now. And let's just see how far his albums go. Because Tyler and Jay-Z talk a lot. Tyler's friends with the Migos. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure Tyler's friends with Justin Bieber. He's friends with Chance. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what happens then if all of these artists now are deciding that they don't want to really collaborate with DJ Khaled again? I know what is also stopping DJ Khaled from dropping on the day, and another artist drops on that day, and DJ Khaled gets mad again that his album doesn't go to number one. So is he going to beef Offset?
Probably.
He wouldn't. He wouldn't. The only reason why he's even having a problem is because it's Tyler the Creator, and Tyler's not going to say anything back. DJ Khaled isn't no big bad boss. He ain't no bully. He ain't got no hitters. Look at him.
Nah, but he's got an ego. That's the problem.
Exactly. That's the problem.
It is the problem. He's always had an ego, and it used to be funny because he did it to a satirical sense. But you always knew that there was like some truth behind it, and now we've seen that, and you know, he obviously values his work very highly, and he's obviously worked hard for it. But the thing is, if it's not good, it's not good.
But worked hard where? I looked at the album credits, Tom. He didn't do shit.
Did you not see him doing his green screen recording of the videos with his lightsaber?
I was just say, like, DJ Khaled is on every single production credit. Yeah, I know for a fact DJ Khaled does not produce anything. So why is he on the production credits for everything?
I don't really know what he does anymore.
Nothing. How has he got a production credit on Just Us when that is Miss Jackson by Outkast, The Beat?
That's a good point. I'm surprised he's not featured on every song though. Because, we the best music is what he shouts every song. Or has he stopped doing that now?
Also, Big Sean, stop doing songs with DJ Khaled because those are terrible as well. So, he stopped doing that. What he does? I'm being dead ass. He does. I just don't understand. Like, and why? It just pisses me off so much. This makes me so upset. Like, it just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it is a bad album. It's his 10th album. 10 is probably a good time to call it quits now. I
really thought he was getting us out here by putting Assad on like the cover. Like, we're not going to care about that.
Assad was on the cover of the last one. Like, stop using your kid as a thing.
Well, Making Assad an exec is good because obviously like all the credits and the money and stuff goes to Assad in it. So like when he grows up, he's forever still gonna have P. But yeah, it's stupid. It's not funny anymore. Like it's stupid. I can't be bothered. I ain't even talk about him no more.
Nah, neither do I. I think that's it. We're done.
Yeah. We've got our shit off, man. As I said, man, go support Tyler. Go stream IGOR right now, and go stream and support real artists like are trying hard and actually try and make real music. You know, we've said all about those new releases that have like come out. You know, go support people. Don't support DJ Khaled, who gets all of his friends together on songs to make terrible generic mainstream radio trash.
Yeah, it's ironic that he once had an album called Suffering from Success, but
exactly, what success? I hope his career is so shit now. I just really hope it's so shit.
He's suffering from success.
Like I know that's really bad to say, yeah, but I just he didn't need to open his mouth about this, and he didn't need to say anything. You should have just kept your mouth shut, DJ Khaled. Now I'm going to be on your ass for the rest of your life. Anything that he does that's not up to par, I'm going to trash him. And that's the end of the episode.
If you liked any of the music in today's show, then please check the credits in the description to see what songs we used.